Yes, the season is about to start, the Premier League season, and in fact, major leagues are about to start. Preseason tournaments are getting closed already. But the question on the lips of so many football fans, so many, especially EPL football fans, is that will Manchester City win the league title come the 2023-24 season? Gary Neville was saying something and he said City are still the team to beat when it comes to winning the Premier League for next season. And he sees United coming second. Well, that's a story for another day. But let's talk about Manchester City. Will they carry the league? First off, last season I made a prediction that City, yes, they are favorites to carry the league, but I see them probably not lifting it. Even before the season started, I mentioned Tottenham, Arsenal, and even maybe United that would, ruffle feathers with City. And I also predicted that Liverpool were going to drop, Chelsea were going to struggle. I mean, all this happened. Apart from City, I mean, they were favorites. I said they were going to be favorites, but they lifted the league. The prediction almost came to fruition. Arsenal almost usurped them because I thought that that last season they were not going to carry the league based on so many things. No other team in the EPL has ever won the Premier League back to back 3 times in a row consecutively, apart from Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United. They did that twice, I think, during his reign at United. But let's leave all that and talk about the new season. Can Manchester City carry the fourth Premier League title on a row? Well, it's going to be a very tough season. Not to talk, I mean, not to demean any other thing, but this season is going to be tough. We have Newcastle in the fray right now, who are still looking to get more players. They got Sandro Tonali already. We have Manchester United, who looks to be building. We have Arsenal, who looks to have fortified their squad, going into next season. We have Chelsea, who seems to, they have a new manager now who seems to, know what he's doing. We have Liverpool also, who are resurgent. So we have so many teams that are really fighting to carry the league. We'll see to carry it. And my answer, once again, based on what I've seen so far, is a no. First off, they've lost some players. Cancelo seems to be leaving. I think he might stay. He might yet stay, but he's very unsettled right now. We have Bernardo Silva who wants to leave. He wanted to leave last season, he couldn't, but he's staying put. We have Riyad Mahrez who has left already. We have Gundogan. I mean, you can't take away the impact of Gundogan in that team. So City are a little bit depleted. Although Guardiola said they're going to still spend. They are going to spend and buy more players. But I still feel City will still need more players if they are going to challenge for the title this season. So looking at all these players that have left City and looking at probably a bit being unsettled. I mean, Cancelo, Bernardo Silva always wanting to leave. It's hard to actually predict that a team that just won the treble will not win the league again. But Pep Guardiola has found a way to demystify the myth that EPL is, the toughest. Yes, still the toughest league, but he cannot perform in the EPL. He cannot win, the title 3 times back. He has broken all the records in the EPL. He's won all domestic trophies before in one season. He has won the treble last season with the Champions League, FA Cup, winning the league again. He has won it consecutively 3 times. So it's very hard to say he's not going to win it for the 4th time consecutive. But I think many teams in EPL right now have really bolstered their squad and they're already prepared for the new season. Like I said, Arsenal have gotten, they came second last season. If they had gotten a good backup like they have this season, I think they might have fought more and probably remain first and win the league title last season. But the lack of squad depth was one of the major reasons why Arsenal didn't win the league last season, because City didn't start well. And this season, if City does the same way, if they start the same way they started last season, which I expect them to do, I think it's going to be difficult, because Sir Alex Ferguson said something that the hardest thing to do, the hardest time to win a trophy is after you just won the other season. How do you motivate your player? How do you tell your players that, man, let's go again, let's go and fight for the title again? Pep Guardiola said something not too long ago that they are still looking to buy players. I mean, Mahrez have left, they are looking to replace him. He's thinking, should they buy a winger or should they buy an inside player, sort of a Grealish or Bernardo Silva? I don't know what he wants to do. I think a winger will be okay, but the team in general, I think Gundogan missing from that team will really cause a bit of a harm in that team because we have Phil Foden who seems to be getting injured more nowadays, and I don't think he's as good as Gundogan. Even if he plays all the game, City likes to play in a formation nowadays that really helped them last season, playing three at the back, Stones in the midfield. It might come to haunt them because in the long run, that might help you in some few games, but in the long run, you might need to have wingers. City don't have any wingers at all. I mean, wing backs. This time around, they don't have wing backs. They have Nathan Ake. They have Kyle Walker, who also might be leaving. But let's say he even stays. Kyle Walker can't play 10 games on the road for you nowadays. They can't even play 15 games. So I think City needs to bolster their squad. They still need some players in that team attacking. So basically, here are the three reasons why I think Man City will not win the league next season. Number one, because they just won the treble. Go and check anytime United, who did it before in the EPL, anytime they win the treble, it's very difficult for them to win it again. You understand? So I think, like I said, after winning a title, to do it again is very difficult, especially in a league that's as tough as the EPL. There's money flying around. So my number one reason is because they just won the treble and they've been so successful. I think they might want, the players mentally might want to relax. That's number one. Number two, I think the other teams have really, have really spent. They've really bought players. Look at Chelsea. Which I still think Chelsea need one more player in the midfield, maybe one more striker. And I think they can really fight for maybe challenge or so I'll give my predictions on the top four later on. I look at Arsenal, for example. They have Declan Rice, they have Thomas Partey still in the team. Now they have Kai Havertz, and they have Timber. So someone in defense, someone in midfield, and someone that can help in attack. I think they are stronger than last season. Look at Manchester United. They have changed David De Gea. Now they want to play the way the manager wants them to play, with Andre Onana, who can play from the back. They have Mason Mount, who is very ferocious, and I think he's a very good number 8. They're going to change their formation next season, so I think they've also bolstered their squad with another striker, Rasmus Højlund. Also look at Liverpool, who I think still need maybe one or two more players, one central defensive midfielder and another defender, just to help when Konate or Van Dijk gets injured. I think it's going to be difficult for City to replicate what they did last season or since 3 seasons ago. It's going to be very difficult for them. So let's see what happens basically. But I don't see City lifting the league. So that's my second reason. Number one is that because they just won last season, it's going to be difficult to replicate it. Number two is because other teams have also boosted their squad, and it's going to be difficult for City, to just sweep these teams apart. That's my number two reasons. And my number three reason is because the team itself looks, a little bit jaded. Mahrez has left, Gundogan has left. You might say Mahrez is not starting, but he's still a very vital player. Gundogan, I think, is really irreplaceable. Kovacic cannot do what Gundogan is doing in that attacking third for Manchester City, and they still need more players. But maybe if they get one or two more players, maybe they can still fight for the league. But for now, I don't see City lifting the league come next season, 2023-24, in the EPL. Thank you very much. My name is Dami World. You can follow me on social media and just at Dami World Music.